welcome to day 2 of your 10-day Pilates challenge with Liv Aligned Pilates. I hope you're feeling good after yesterday's workout, and if you missed it, click the link in the description. It will take you to the playlist with all the workouts. So today we are focusing on a specific area, the deep core and abdominal area. So this is a wonderful one to do at the start of the challenge, as it's going to help us connect in with our core for the remaining workouts, and will really give us that mind to muscle connection that we're after, as Pilates does have a lot to do with your core strength. If there's anything that doesn't feel good today, I will give you modifications, and also listen to your own body, rest when you need to, have a drink break, pause the video, it's totally up to you. Okay, so let's get started on our sit bones. So we're going to bring our legs out in front of us, have our knees bent, feet flat, about hip distance apart. Wrapping your hands behind your thighs, sitting up nice and tall, rolling those shoulders down and back. Let's tuck our tailbone under, let's drop the ribs towards the hips and start to make a C curve through the spine, drawing the core in. Take a pause and then sit up nice and tall, lengthen through your spine, shoulders down. Ribs to hips, tailbone tucking under, core drawing in. Imagining your spine is making the letter C as you come back, and then sit up nice and tall. This is called spinal flexion, and it's helping us engage in with our core muscles here. Our hands are here for some support, but if you did want to take it a little step further, you could reach your arms out in front of you in line with your shoulders and see if you can just solely use that core strength to roll you back and sit you up tall. You can always bring your hands back behind your legs if you need to. Use your breath here to exhale to tuck and roll back. Inhale to sit up tall. Now, breath has many benefits. Of course, we need to breathe to be here and moving our bodies. If you do get a little caught up with breathing patterns, don't worry about it, just breathe naturally. As long as you're not holding your breath, I'm happy. I do find though that exhaling on effort does help during a workout. So when things get hard, a good exhale breath is going to help you perform that movement. Okay, let's do one more, but roll all the way down onto our back this time. So you might need to shuffle forward, so you've got some mat behind you, and then tuck the tailbone under, roll all the way back onto your back, reach your arms overhead, stretching through those core muscles. Beautiful. And then bring your arms just down by your sides, step your feet in a little closer towards your glutes. We actually want to come up onto our toes now and walk our feet in so our big toes are touching. Heels are raised off the mat, back is flat and lengthened in towards the mat. Let's open our knees like we're doing a little butterfly motion, and then close. Allow those legs to open just as wide as you're comfortable with, and close. While we're doing this little warm-up movement, can we imagine 2 magnets on either side of our hip bones? Those magnets are trying to draw across towards the middle and meet just above your pubic bone. And this is where we can start to feel our deep core muscles switching on. Now they'll be on anyway, but sometimes it's good to just have that visual so that you can know what it feels like. It's very subtle, and it's very helpful when you're doing Pilates. Ribs are drawing down, maybe using that breath. Here for another 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Now let's float the legs up into tabletop, one leg at a time. We are trying this with our legs up in tabletop now. If it doesn't work, place your feet back on the mat. Press your feet together, open the knees, and close the knees. Ensure that your knees stay directly above your hips and your shins stay parallel to the ceiling. If you do get intense hip flexor pain, you could trial your knees a little closer towards your chest until you're feeling like maybe you could stack your knees over your hips. That's it. So still quite subtle, but it can become challenging if you're keeping your alignment if you're thinking about your core drawing down and in, if you're focusing on your breath, and if you press your feet together, you're creating a little bit of extra resistance as well. Here for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the legs together. Separate the legs and feet hip distance apart now. Let's come into our alternating toe taps. We did this one yesterday. We keep the 90-degree bend in the leg and we tap the toes down towards the mat. Now there's a difference between dropping your foot to the floor and tapping down with control away from the center of the body. The further you tap away, the more challenging you will find it through your core. Now it's okay to have a natural small arch through your lower back, but if you're feeling an extra big arch as you tap down to the floor, you need to engage a little bit more through the core and maybe just shorten the range of your toe tap so you don't have to come all the way down. Here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your hands behind the backs of your legs and tuck your chin up towards your chest, lifting your shoulders off the mat. We're going to try and stay nice and tight in a little ball and rock along the length of the spine. Have those rocks in a smaller range of motion to begin with, and then you might be able to start to come up all the way on the sit bones. Keep the chin tucked, tailbone tucked, core drawing back towards the spine. If this doesn't work for you, just take a few bridges instead. So you're rolling up and down your spine, lifting your hips up to the ceiling and back down to the mat. This is a lovely massage for the spine, as well as building some heat through your body, and of course working your core. Stay as tucked as tightly as possible. Here for another 5, 4, 3, 2. Beautiful. On 1, we're coming all the way up to seated. Lovely. That's a fun one too. I love doing that. Okay, shuffle back a bit if you've come forward like me. Now we're going to rest down on our elbows and forearms. I like to call this a sunbaker position. Imagine you're at the beach, enjoying the sun, but we are going to do a bit of core work as well. Tuck the tailbone under lightly, draw the core in, float your legs up into tabletop. Squeeze your feet together. Let's open and close our knees once again. We want to feel like we're pushing out of the elbows and shoulders, expanding through the chest, engaging through the core, of course. If this position doesn't work for you, you can lie down onto your back. That's fine. You can build to this position. Make sure you're not collapsing into the floor through the back of your body. And again, if you press your feet together, you'll be surprised at how much more resistance you can create for your core and for your inner thighs as well. Here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Separate your legs and feet to hip distance apart. Let's come back into our toe taps. Now you'll notice this is slightly, if not a lot more challenging than our supine position. Supine is when you're lying on your back. Beautiful. Keep that chest open, looking straight forward. Now if you want more, you go single leg stretch instead. This can be quite intense, so just take it easy, but if you're feeling it, go for it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. All right, come all the way up to seated. Lovely. Let's just stretch those hips out. So we'll bring the soles of the feet to touch. Let the knees fall open. Sit up nice and tall, wrapping your hands around your ankles. shoulders down and back. And if that's enough, stay there. If you'd like to hinge the body forward slightly, you can. Hands can come down in front of you on the mat. Deep breaths here. Okay, come all the way up. We're moving on to some side plank stuff now, so getting into those obliques and shoulders too. So come down onto your right side. Stack your knees and shift them back slightly so they're almost in line with your body. They don't have to be completely in line. That can be a little awkward sometimes, so just slightly in front is fine. Bringing your right elbow and forearm down onto the mat. Your top hand can come down to the floor for support or come onto the hip to make things harder. Let's lift our hips up towards the ceiling and then lower down. Beautiful. Lift yourself up and lower down. Feel that underside of your waist draw up towards the ceiling and lower. 2 more like this. Lift. That's it. And lift. Beautiful. Let's extend our top arm towards the ceiling. We lift again. This time we wrap our top arm underneath, open back up, lower the hips down, and again lift up. Really rotate the shoulders down as you reach underneath, open, and lower. 3 more. Lift, reach, expand, lower down. Hips up. Reach, open, and down. Let's do 1 more. Lift, reach, open, and down. Now let's lift ourselves up and just do that rotation under and open for 4, 3, you can do it, 2, beautiful job. We have 1 more. We hold or we pulse the hips for 5, 4, whoa, 3, kicks in, 2, and 1, come on down, sit all the way up. Just stagger your legs and reach your working arm up and over so that right arm will reach up and overhead and you'll stretch through that right side of your body. Beautiful, come on up, swing the legs around, let's do the other side. Same thing, same setup. Left elbow under the left shoulder, forearm flat, palm down, knees bent, slightly back in line with the body. Let's go top hand on hip, unless you did like it down on the mat. For support, let's lift those hips up and lower. Think a piece of string, pulling your hips up towards the ceiling and down. 2 more like this. Amazing. Okay, extend your top arm to the sky, lift your hips, thread the needle under, open back up, lower down. Lift, thread, open, down. 3 more. Hips stay nice and high, top shoulder rotates, and down. Remember, exhale when it gets hard. That's it. And 1 more. We lift, we rotate, arm opens, hips lower. Now we have to hold our plank, so lift up, just that rotation for 5, 4, so good, stay up, 3, you can do it, 2, and 1, hold or pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it down, come on up, stagger those legs, and reach your left arm up and over. Beautiful side bend. Breathing here. Awesome, all right, come on up. We have made it to our last series. It's a high plank series on the hands and the toes. You can always drop down to knees and rest whenever you need to. Otherwise, turn to the lengthways of your mat. Bring your hands out in front, shoulder width apart, and step your feet back, tucking your toes under. Coming into a pike, so we pike our hips up to the ceiling, keep those heels lifted, send the chest between the arms, and then come through with control back to your plank. Lift from the core, lift the hips up to the sky, and then lower back down into that high plank. And again, up and down. Lift, so good. Bring it back. And forward. 2 more, lift, forward. Last one, we lift up, we come forward to our plank, and we mountain climb up, right knee to left elbow and back, left knee to right elbow and back. Take it slow and control. That's it. Use that exhale. For another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Step the feet out as wide as the mat. Shoulder taps. Right hand to left shoulder. Left hand to right shoulder. Keep the hips nice and steady. Core lifting up. For 6, 5, 4, this is it, last exercise, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job, lift those hips back up into your downward facing dog, pedal out through your legs, amazing. Deepen the breath. Stretch it out and slow down your breathing. Wonderful, lower your knees down onto the mat. Let's take a few rounds of cat and cow to cool things down. Joints are stacked. We inhale, arch through the back. Exhale, lift and round. Inhale, open the front of the body. Exhale, round, separate those shoulder blades. 1 more. And round. Beautiful, coming down to a comfortable seated position. Just giving our shoulders a little shrug up, down and back, releasing any tension we have through the neck and shoulders, because that planking series can be quite intense through the upper body as well. Set the shoulders down and back, bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Coming through the center and over to the other side. Back to the center, looking up and down a few times. Okay, so we are done. Congratulations, that is day 2 of the 10-day Pilates challenge ticked off. I hope your core is feeling nice and strong and warm now, and you can take that through for the next 8 days of your Pilates challenge. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel so that you are updated every single day with our 10-day challenge. There is also a playlist in the description box that will link you to all of the workouts once they're uploaded. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.